Hi, before you start the video, I just want to give this disclaimer because I am afraid of the fans of these people that I am going to be criticizing. I am not a reader and I am extremely new to reviewing, so I may miss some points and brush over some stuff. By the way, I may look mad or angry at times, but I am so enjoying this. So I hope you enjoy this too. So I will be baking bagels and I'll be using this video from YouTube. You didn't see that. I'm going to put the name on the screen. I want to make the bagel. I have to knead it for a long time. So I decided that I want to rant about the things that I have watched, read, consumed throughout February. So let me get my ingredients ready and I will be talking to you. 1 cup warm water, 3 tablespoons sugar, 2 teaspoons of yeast. So I will wait for this to do its thing. I think it has to foam a little bit. So this is why I don't measure things. Like I cannot do that. 3 cups of flour. Okay, adding the salt and mixing. Okay, let's mix. Right now it's like this. I have to knead it until it is smooth. Luna, no. I decided to listen to this book called Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I listened to the audiobook and I am so thankful that I didn't sit down to read it because it was such a waste of time to read it. I'm giving it the benefit of doubt. I'm hoping that I disliked it this much only because I am in my late 20s and it is for young adults. But apparently, according to Google, it is for 12 to 17-year-olds. I don't know how that qualifies you as young adult, but whatever. If you have read this book, I'm sorry. And if you haven't and you're planning to, please skip to this timestamp because I'm going to give a lot of spoilers because I want to rant about this book. This is fiction, first of all. It is like Game of Thrones, but also like Hunger Games according to the reviews. I haven't watched Hunger Games yet, but in the reviews everyone says Game of Thrones met with Hunger Games. So anyways, the main character is 17-year-old girl, of course. That was my first red flag that I should just stop with this book. So in this country, people are divided by their bloods. They are red or silver, and of course if you're red you're like below, and if you're silver blooded you're you have, first of all, you have superpowers and you are above everyone else. Reds live in the village and silvers live in the castles, and of course silvers have red servants and stuff like that. The country is in war. The main character is friends with another boy of 17 and they will be sent to war zone when they turn 18, and it is soon. She wants to get away from that. She wants to run away from war, and she knows full well what happens to people who try to run away from war. So anyways, she is of course a disappointment of the family. She cannot do anything other than stealing. So she decides to smuggle her friend out of the village so that they don't have to be drafted for the war. She has to pay a lot of money to be able to do that. She decides to rob people. She wanted to rob silvers, but she was unsuccessful and she made everything worse for her family. And she decided to steal from her own people. She came across this man and she told him her situation. This man gave her some money. This means that he is, he is of high power, but he just wanted to help her somehow, for whatever reason. Can you see Luna there? Oh my God. So the next day or the same night, I don't know, people from the castle come to their house and they want to collect this main character, Mare. her name is Mare. They took her to the castle, say that, yeah, from now on you are working for the, high families. Her whole life, her sister has been training to be able to work for the high people, and she has been doing nothing but stealing and being a brat. But just because she was out and about, she had this opportunity to meet this high person. He arranged for her that she get to live in the castle. Yay for the little girl, Jisa. I know what you're thinking. We can conspire to kill Mare together. Anyways, they take her to the castle, and in the castle there is this tournament. For whatever reason, they all happen in one day. This tournament could have been happening 2 months later after she was in the castle. That could also be a thing, but it wouldn't be interesting to the reader, so they all happen in the same day. I'm being petty because it was such a cheap plots, all of the plots were so cheap. That's why I am angry. And in this tournament, silver people are showing off their powers, and something happened, this and that. Found out Mare has powers as well. Well, let me backtrack you. Up until this point, Mare has mentioned twice or 3 times that she feels strange around electrical places. You're 17 and you just now understanding there's something different with you. Anyways, she has some lightning powers. It was not a surprise to us. Anyways, the queen who is spitting image of Cersei Lannister, not visually, like personality wise. She takes the matter to her own hands, like Cersei would. She makes up this story that Mare is from somebody, like some houses. She was raised as a red, but she's actually silver, stuff like this. Elara, aka Cersei, does her thing and take this Mare as Sansa. But of course, she is much better than Sansa in terms of being proactive. Anyways, also she's more like bratty. Imagine Cersei got a hold of Arya, not Sansa. Mare is Arya in this situation. And this whole time, she hates silver more because she found out recently that one of her brothers died in the army, the war that silvers are fighting, which is even more stupid in my opinion, because silvers have powers, reds are no ones. Like, why aren't you fighting with your skilled people? Silver people, you have powers. Why are you wasting your time and energy and resources with red people? You know that they will die. There's this thing, silver people have healers. So if one silver gets hurt, those healers can come and magically heal them up. You have unlimited resources. Use them. But whatever. Anyway, so this Mare girl is even more angry that her brother Shade is dead. And this Shade is dead sentence has been used more than I would like to care. Since it was used this many times, I came to a conclusion that Shade is not dead. Because first rule is, if you didn't see a body, that person isn't dead. Secondly, if they are this much attached, that person is gonna come back. The title of the book is Red Queen. You are under the impression that this girl is going to be the queen. Cersei, Queen Elara, betrothed her to her own biological son, who is not going to be a king, because before her, the king was married to another person, and that person's son is going to be the king. So you're expecting Mare and that Cal guy are going to end up together. Lo and behold, Cal is the guy who Mare saw that night. Wow. We didn't see that coming at all. We never saw that coming. And she betrothed her own son to her. So we knew that her and Cal were going to end up together. And actually there are a lot of things that happen in between. Things happen and they fall in love. Mare learns how to use her powers, and she gets to know that she is very special because she is both red and silver, and there are not many of them. And her brother Shade is also like that. He also has powers, but did they mention what powers he had? I don't remember what power he had, but yeah, he isn't dead, shocker. And so basically Mare is trying to destroy Silvers from the inside by joining a party like fireflies from Last of Us. So she's trying to help those people from the inside, and such a twist, her betrothed, the son of the queen, joins her. Wow. And at that point, there would be a really nice opportunity for a nice twist. I would like to see her teacher to be the, twist. But anyways, it was her betrothed. Things happen, this and that. Towards the end, we realize that her betrothed, the one who decided to join the Fireflies, aka Scarlet something, Scarlet whatever, he was being a double agent. He was playing Mare the whole time. Oh my god, such a twist. It was such a cheap twist. I hated that the most. I liked Mare as a person more than that twist. So Mare thinks that this guy is on her side, but actually he isn't. They are trying to overthrow. He is working with his mother. So they are trying to overthrow this other Cal guy, the rightful heir to the throne. First of all, the Fireflies lose. The Scarlet people lose the fight, which was the one good thing in the plot. I hate the plot armor. I really hate it. Like everything goes to plan. I hate when everything goes to plan, especially the plan of the main character. I hate when that happens. Scarlet's losing the fight was a big win in my eyes. They framed him by the end, got away with it. They were sentenced to die in the fighting arena. There are some silver people that can take away your powers. That person took away Mare's power. So Mare is just a simple red right now. She has no way of protecting herself. Editing me here, I have to add these. They were sentenced to die, so they were fighting in the arena. Somewhere along the way, Mare had lost her powers due to that silver person who took away her powers. But along the way, while fighting in the arena, she got her powers back. Because of course she did. It wouldn't be interesting if she didn't. Anyways, it was such a stupid plot, and another stupid plot is coming up. They were in the brink of dying, and out of nowhere, the ground opens up, and this black void swallows them up, and she wakes up to see Scarlet Guard, the leader of the Scarlet Guard, and her brother is with them. And by the end, she and Cal doesn't have the romance anymore, but they have this passion to kill the Cal's brother, Maven. Such a stupid plot. I mean, I may not understand the beauty of the descriptions, the structures of the sentences, but man, what was that plot? So that is how it ended. And yeah, let's go back to the video. So basically, by the end, she isn't married to anyone. Cal is not a king. She isn't married to the next heir, so she isn't even a queen. So the title is a clickbait. Basically, Big L. And the other twist I desperately wanted was that this Red Queen in the title, we all are expecting this Mare girl to be the Red Queen, right? I desperately wanted the leader of the Fireflies to be the Red Queen, because the main character, Mare, mentioned multiple times how her scarlet hair flowed like this and that. It's queen vibes. It's giving queen energy. She should have been the queen, but I digress in saying that after ranting for 30 minutes. I was so angry with that book, and I get that you are supposed to be experiencing some feelings after something, but babes, no. Another good thing about the book, I love the world. The world, the universe, the powers, the rules, even though some were stupid. I love the world building, actually. That was one thing that kept me going. Of course, I wanted to know how it ended. Yeah, as I said, by the end, she didn't even become a queen, but the series has 4 more books, which I'm not willing to read. I'm not even going to listen to them. I'm not going to consume any of that. Oh my God, and it had such cringy scenes about her and Cal. Anyways, I wanted to get that off my chest. I have to add this though, I am not familiar with the writing style, stuff like that. So from the literary point of view, I have no say. I have no idea how good or bad it is. Yeah, as a reader, I would not recommend it to anybody, especially above the ages of 25, which is still young adult. I don't really get it. How is that young adult? Anyways, the other book, another one is coming, but that book is good, so I'm not going to talk much about it. I love that book. The next book I consumed was also an audiobook. I listened to Verity by Colleen Hoover. I heard that that book was thriller or mystery, like this kind of genre, and of course, I was interested. Started listening to that and I loved it. Let me just read you the first line. I hear the crack of his skull before the spattering of blood reaches me. What? Somebody gets hit right in front of her. That's how the first scene is pictured. So editing me is here because I did a terrible job of explaining what the fuck was happening in the beginning of the book. So the main character is Lowell, who is also a writer, and she writes suspense novels, stuff like that. And she is, I think, a fan of Verity, who is another writer, and she is tasked with completing her series. And Verity apparently written some of the books, but she couldn't complete the rest of the series because of her medical condition. In the beginning of the book, it isn't said what the condition is. The main character, Loan, knows that Verity isn't in a good situation because she has recently lost both of her daughters in separate occasions, and Verity has only one child left. And eventually she is invited to Verity's house. Jeremy, who is Verity's husband, he was also in the meeting, and Jeremy and Loan crossed paths right before the meeting. The guy who died in front of her, Jeremy was also there. He helped her clean up. They met and they had a moment while cleaning her clothes. I did a terrible job of explaining that, so yeah, let's go back. She is tasked with going to Verity's office and working out her book and characters. She has to get to know the characters from that series, and she has to understand what Verity was going to do with those characters. So she has to look through her files. She comes across a autobiography of Verity, and of course she decides to read that. Her whole view on Verity changes upside down, like 180. And apparently Verity is this horrible person who did horrible things, not to mention to her own kids. A masterpiece. Plot is like, there are some plot twists, so I'm not going to talk any more about that. So if you are interested, read that. If you are not, I'm not going to tell you. It was perfect. I loved every second of it, not gonna lie. Not every second. There were too many sex scenes. Okay, I don't want to hear any more about how you fucked your husband. But it was also the point of that character. She was too obsessed with her husband and their sex life to a point that she blamed her children for her husband's divided attention. Not gonna say more than that. I will try not to give away the ending here, but the ending is left open to interpretation, and you as a reader can decide if you want to accept this or that. I'm trying not to give anything away. Even though the ending is open to interpretation, there is no win-win situation in my opinion. It's bad. It's bad. The situation is bad. The book is really good. Such a shame that Colleen Hoover doesn't write more books like this. I think her other books are like romantic looking, but actually toxic relationship. That's what I know from everything I've seen. How 50 Shades of Grey or 365 Days. Oh my God, that movie is, oh my God. You know, yesterday I said some books should have stayed as book, not turned into movie. 365 is one of those. If you haven't watched that movie, please don't. You can watch the reviews of people, but it still will haunt you. So don't watch them either. So after listening to these two books, Red Queen and Verity, I kind of realized that it is much easier to consume audiobooks than movies. I don't want to be one of those people who said, the book was better than the movie. I don't want to be one of those people, but I feel like I was more immersed while I was listening to the book than I would have been if I were to watch the movie, especially with the Red Queen. I wouldn't even finish the movie Red Queen. I guarantee that. And Verity, I would totally watch that. I would totally watch that movie. Somebody make that into a movie. So why are we making It Ends With Us to a movie but not Verity? Why? Why? I just want to know why. Let me see, maybe they are. They are making. No, they're not. Potential film. So they may make it into a movie. So there was this one downside to the book Verity that I really didn't like. There were some medical facts that didn't check out. So that was one cheap way to brush off. She like turned a blind eye to medical facts just for the sake of the storyline. The storyline was so good that I'm going to give it a pass as well. Yeah, I would say 4.5, rounding up to 5 stars. The Red Queen is 2 stars because I love the world, and also not everything went to the plans of the main character, which is something I like. That's all for me, and now I'm going to go back to my bagels. I guess I can talk about the shows that I've watched during this time since the beginning of this year. What have I watched? I have watched Last of Us. As you can tell, since I've been referencing to it for the Scarlet Shadow. What was their name? Scarlet Dawn? And oh my god, the other day I was choosing another book to listen to. Its name is Gilded Ones. I really like the cover photo. That's why, yeah, I judged the book by its cover, but I was disappointed. Rightly so. I listened only for 14 minutes. It was also about the colors of their blood, but this time it was, having a red blood was a good thing, but having a gold blood was not a good thing. It's like, in Minecraft, gold isn't as good as iron. Last of Us. Yes, I watched Last of Us. I really like that, but I'm biased because I am a Game of Thrones fan, and if you are a Game of Thrones fan but don't like Oberyn Martell or Lyanna Stark. I don't know what you're doing with your life. I suggest you check your taste buds a little bit. I don't know why I'm being this salty. Yeah, I really like the premise of the show and the acting, of course. The only thing that I didn't like, I talked about this yesterday, but I don't know if that clip will be in this video, so I'll say that here as well. I didn't like the latest episode where Ellie and her girlfriend talks about lingeries. I just feel it's disgusting. Disgusting! It wasn't necessary at all, so yeah. I also have watched the show You. I gave it 3 stars so far. I don't think it'll get any better. After a few seasons, they just can't do it. Basically, I've been liking the show You less and less each season. I think the thing that puts me off is the plot armor. As I've mentioned before, I hate the plot armor unless it makes sense in the universe. Take Agent Johnny, for example. In that movie, the whole universe is so stupid that you accept each and every idiotic thing. Or the show that its name doesn't even fit in one line, The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window. The plot makes sense. It is so stupid that it makes sense. Much like Jon Snow, Joe Goldberg gets too many easy way outs. That was the one more thing that I didn't like about Game of Thrones too. Let me go on a little tangent here. Take Arya and Sansa. None of them would survive what the other went through. But in my humble opinion, Jon Snow survived almost the same fate with Tyrion Lannister. But the thing is, Tyrion blatantly admits that he gets out of every sticky situation with his money. And that makes sense in his story. What does Jon do? Well, he gets the magical touch of the writers. Very much like Joe Goldberg. Peach getting killed in the middle of the day. Love's family hiring that weird hitman who is done with that life. And he just lets Joe and Marianne off the hook. What the fuck kind of writing is that? You could have gotten Marianne killed off by a zombie. That would have made more sense, but I digress. And Joe breaking off those chains that were specifically built to keep the prisoners? No. Anyways, I don't think writing will get any better. I'll keep watching knowing that I won't like it, but at least my expectations can't be any lower now. And about The Last of Us, as you can tell, when I like something, I don't have anything else to say other than I loved it. Ah! Oh my god! Look at this! So cute! I will wait for it to cool down for a while. It looks so cute! Oh my god, it's soft as well. Oh my god, it's so soft. Oh my god, it's so soft. Taste isn't as good as the looks. Not enough salt. But I have the solution. This is salty enough. I didn't put enough salt because I wasn't measuring. So if you did measure, it should be fine. And in this short amount of time, just wow. I'm gonna be baking this all the time. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed it. And let me know if you have read or listened to any of the books or the shows that I mentioned, and let me know what you think about them. And like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.